Yo, what is going on? It is your boy Luke What. Welcome back to another Reddit video. I love all of you who come to these videos, like, sub, comment, and you love Reddit and the crazy stories just like me. Today, we are going to be looking at regrets. I think a lot of humans have regrets. This is a very natural feeling. And a subreddit that I stumbled across when I was looking for video subreddits is regrets. People have a lot: cheating, murder, said the wrong thing, missed opportunities. There's a lot of stories that people have out there, and today I'm going to be reading almost all of them and trying to provide input. So let's go. Here we go. The first one is by user TitleGrand727. Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, grab your popcorn. This is going to be good. I, 23 female, have been with my boyfriend, 24 male, for a few months. It is a fairly new relationship still. Everything was going good, he was great, etc. I discovered he was talking to other girls from his past within the first week of our relationship. We talked about it, he said he's choosing the relationship, he texted them all and told them he had a girlfriend, and that was the end. About a week or two later, I discovered he cheated again. He had ended up paying $200 for an escort and sleeping with her unprotected. I still didn't leave even though I knew I should probably have. Okay, this is just my commentary. This guy is insane for cheating with an escort and paying $200. That's like a whole nother level of cheating. It's like you go out of your way to go with an escort, not even the 10 girls in your phone. You know what I mean? I did tell him by this point I am willing to keep trying if he can make genuine changes because I actually did/do enjoy him. The trust would need to be rebuilt. Honesty will need to be present, and etc. Okay, wait, I'm laughing. This is not in the story, but I just ended up reading the next line. This is insane. Buckle up. He ended up cheating again. Not physically. And of course, I found out, but I still stayed like a dumbass. I asked him in what areas was I lacking in that he feels the need to go get entertainment, sex, affection, etc. elsewhere, because to me, I was confused. I mean, how many times are you going to get cheated on before leaving? I'd stay at his house for 1 to 2 weeks at a time. While he was working, I'd cook, clean his house, do the laundry, all the wife stuff, even though I wasn't a wife. He never had to ask for sex or head. It was a given. I was supportive, affectionate, encouraging, etc. So I was genuinely confused where I was falling short. He told me multiple times that it wasn't me, that he just struggles with impulse control, self-sabotage, etc. That he does love and care for me, and that his cheating does make him feel guilty, and that he'll try to do better. A couple months go by to land us here now. He's cheated about 5 or 6 times so far. Last night, I let an ex-situationship come over. I slept with him. I felt pretty bad about myself after he left. Well, at least he got some revenge, but relationships are not about revenge. It's about love and trust, so you two are better off ending it, but alright, let's continue. I texted my boyfriend hinting at an upcoming conversation about ending our relationship, so tonight I called him and I proposed that we end the relationship. He was on board. He told me that he wants to try again in the future when he gets the help that he needs, that he doesn't want to keep hurting me and that I don't deserve what he's done, etc. I was honest to him about cheating last night and told him the truth about how I felt, that I had fully convinced myself that I'd get my lick back, I probably wouldn't feel bad, it'd be justified, things of that nature. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. I still feel very shitty for what I did. It completely goes against my values, and being disloyal to my partner isn't who I am. I told him while I don't hate him, his actions in our relationship had taken a very big toll on my emotional state, that I started to turn into a person that I do not like. And if that's happening, then we don't need to continue to stay together because it's unhealthy. He told me he forgives me for cheating, that he's not mad but he is really hurt by it. But it's just a decision that I made and that he's not too mad. We got off the phone and I texted him and said I'm sorry. He told me it's okay, that he's sorry for making me cheat on him. That kind of confused me. And now I feel even worse because I don't like hurting the feelings of people that I care for. My friends, male and female, told me that I shouldn't feel bad because he's repeatedly cheated on me with multiple people, but I don't know how to not feel bad. Like, I genuinely feel like a horrible person. I don't think anyone deserves to be cheated on, no matter the situation. Now I'm not totally sure what to do. I regret telling him I did it, but I also refuse to lie to the people close to me. I didn't want to hurt his feelings, but I also think it would have been worse had I not ended the relationship. Edit, I'd like to add I did get tested last week. I may be stupid enough to stay, but I'm not enough to get tested. Okay, so I just don't know why you guys are still together. I noticed that most couples now either should break up like you two, or they just break up way too quick. There's a lot of toxic mess in the dating pool. And he's cheated on you about 5 times. He's probably a sex addict, which is fine, but he just needs to have the right mindset and right precautions and right help. And yeah, also, you seem like a genuinely good person. You got your lick back and cheated, and you felt horrible about it. And he kind of felt bad, but not really. In the total of this relationship, so far there have been 7 instances of cheating, 6 from him and 1 from you. Like, I just don't see how there's any trust remaining. First comment comes from Admiral Tegel. You should have ended the relationship to keep your values before sleeping with anyone else. 2 wrongs do not make a right. However, he routinely cheated on you. I'm going to chalk that up to you being in an emotionally compromised state. I know this is just a random guy on the internet telling you this, but I don't think you should beat yourself up so much over this. Perhaps this is something you did to help push yourself into declaring the relationship is over. I mean, the guy cheated on you 5 to 6 times and you kept forgiving him. I would have been at my wit's end myself. You should break up with him if you haven't already. He is not good for you. I wouldn't go to the other guy you slept with either. I would give yourself a few months to be by yourself and reflect on the things that you appreciated about your ex and the many, many things you did not like. Keep those things in mind for the future should you feel like pursuing a partner again in the future. So this first comment is right, but I think he's kind of missing a key part of human nature, and that is we struggle to be alone. Even though this girl's probably going to break up with her current man, she's probably going to try to test things out with the other situationship, because the situationship, if he's not blocked, he's going to reach out and be like, hey, I heard things ended with your man. I'm sorry. Humans don't like to be alone unless she has the best self-control in the world to block both of the dudes. Like, she's probably going to end up doing something with one of them until she finds a brand new guy to fully be in love with and block the other two. That's how I see it. You made the right choice by ending the relationship, and the fact that you cheating made you feel all sorts of fucked up about it shows you're still a good person with feelings. Honestly, the ex won't ever change. And in the off chance he does, all the hurt will still be there. But I don't think you should beat yourself up over this. You may have cheated in the very technical term, but he ended the relationship a long time ago. You also came clean immediately afterwards and ended the relationship instead of lying or manipulating. I'm completely agreeing with this guy. Yeah, she cheated, but it was right after he cheated game 5 times. Like, you know what I mean? The relationship has been over. And a weirdo in the comments said a good person wouldn't have cheated. Maybe she's not a good person, but then with that logic, no one is a good person because she's very human and has a very human nature feeling for just wanting to get revenge. She got stabbed first, so she wants to stab back. That is a human thing, and I think she is still a good person because she had remorse. All right, so this next story comes from r/confessions, which is very similar to regrets. You know, you have regrets, you confess them. So here we go. This one comes from user Bloom Naira. I stopped reminding my boyfriend about anything just to see how long it will take for his life to fall apart. Brutal. Here we go. And this is a long story, so get your popcorn. I've been with my boyfriend for almost 4 years. For basically the entire relationship, I've been the person remembering everything for the both of us. Birthdays, appointments, rent, his car service, stuff for work, his mom's medication, literally all of it. He always says he's just bad with dates, and I'm naturally more organized, so somehow it slowly became my job, I guess. A few months ago, we had an argument because I forgot to remind him about his brother's birthday dinner. Mind you, this dinner was mentioned in the family group chat like 50 times, and he still got annoyed at me because apparently I knew he would have forget and could have just reminded him before he made the other plans. Okay, wait, I'm paused. It's not in the story, but that really pisses me off. I hate when people like weaponize their incompetence and project it onto other people. It's like, yo, you knew I would have forget. Why didn't you just tell me? It's like, why did you forget then, dumbass? Like, don't fucking project it onto her and get mad at her for not being your maid. Like, that already annoys me, but let's continue. Like, what? I don't know. Something about that pissed me off so badly. Not even the birthday thing itself, but the way he said it, like remembering his own life was some service I suddenly stopped providing. So I decided, fine, I'm not reminding him about anything anymore. Okay, we're getting into petty stuff. I love it. I didn't announce it because, I already knew he would say I'm being dramatic. I just quietly stopped. No, don't forget your dentist tomorrow. No reminding him about insurance payments. No telling him we were nearly out of cat food. No checking his work schedule for him. If he asked me something directly, I answered it, but I stopped volunteering information like I'm some personal calendar with tits. First of all, personal calendar with tits is a hilarious description. Second of all, I feel like you're his mom at this rate. Bro, you're checking his work schedule for him? Like, what do you mean? You're telling me he's not checking his schedule? Like what does he do? Does he just like float around? The first month was honestly a disaster. He missed his dentist appointment and had to pay a cancellation fee, forgot to buy his coworker a birthday gift until the literal morning of and blamed shipping times, ran out of clean work shifts twice because apparently the laundry basket usually empties itself through divine intervention. He got a late fee on one of his bills and spent like an hour ranting about how companies make due dates confusing on purpose, and this is the part that makes me feel horrible, but I enjoyed it. It's so funny that he's spending hours ranting about how companies make due dates confusing. It's like, what due date is not confusing? The 1st of January? Like, not like evil villain laughing while he suffers, but every time something went wrong, I felt this tiny bit of satisfaction because finally it proved I wasn't imagining how much stuff I do for him. He kept saying he was having the most stressful month ever, and I was just sat there thinking, no babe, you're just experiencing your own responsibilities without me putting pillows under every consequence. Then last week he missed an important work meeting because the time changed. He showed me the email and said, you saw this too, why didn't you tell me? I said, because it's not my meeting. He just stared at me and later said he feels like I don't care about him anymore because partners are supposed to help each other. And yes, obviously they are, but helping someone and basically managing their entire existence are not the same thing. How do we reach a point where me not monitoring a grown man's emails is emotional neglect? I still haven't told him this was intentional from the start. He thinks I've just been distracted lately. Now I feel guilty because, well, technically, yeah, I could have prevented most of this. It would have taken me like 10 seconds to remind him. But I also feel like if I start again, then nothing changes and I'm going to be 70 years old reminding this man where his glasses are while they're literally on his face. That's hilarious. Okay. I love him, I really do, but I don't want to be his mom. At the same time, secretly watching someone fail just to prove a point is kind of insane behavior, so I don't know, maybe I'm the problem too. But how hard is it to remember your own dentist appointment, genuinely? Alright, and that's the end of that. Yeah, so it is not that hard to remember your dentist appointment. It's not that hard to check your work schedule. It's not that hard to show up for your coworker. It's not that hard to remember due dates for bills you owe, especially because it sends you email reminders. Like, I can maybe get behind the bill thing, but like, dude, there's reminders on your phone. They email you. You should be able to check your own work schedule. Like, this guy is fully out of the loop. And you said the first month where you didn't help was the worst, most stressful month of his life. So, yeah, you're right. Now, this is interesting because you make a good point at the end. Secretly watching someone fail just to prove a point is kind of insane. It is a little insane, but I get it. It's like a justified insane. First comment comes from Taco Lame. He literally carries a device around all day that will remind him of everything. Idiot boyfriend? Meet the calendar app. Exactly. Meet the calendar app, meet the reminders app, meet email, checking it yourself. Second comment comes from Allow Me to Fangirl. No, genuinely, he needs to learn his own management strategies and he never will if someone is always doing it. I don't know what to say about you two because you proved your point, but it's also never going to make him change, I feel like. Okay, so we have another one from r/confessions from user throwaway 19-88. I impersonated an old boss as an employment reference and now I make 6 figures. I work in an industry where most people are employed through firms and organizations, but some choose to work as independent contractors. After working independently for a few years, an old colleague reached out to me about a really good opportunity at her current firm that she thought I would be a perfect fit for. I jumped at it, went through the interview process, and made it to the reference stage. I was ready to be asked by 2 references, but instead, they asked for 3. And I was having a really hard time finding the 3rd one. I was really bad at working relationships, something I've since been working on. I remembered one of my old supervisors at the last company I worked for before starting independently who moved to a different state around the same time I left. I wasn't sure she would give me a good reference, so I decided to impersonate her because she didn't work there anymore and her LinkedIn didn't have any contact information. I remember her as a very private person. It helped that I had also moved to a different state since working with her. So I bought a cheap SIM card and the cheapest phone I could set up and everything, including a Gmail account in her name, is sent along with my 2 other references. Okay. This is not the story, but that's insane. This guy literally got a SIM card, a cheap phone, and made a brand new Gmail account. This is commitment. Even though this is lying, like, bro, I'm kind of on your side. The fact that you went this far to, like, this shows determination. They first sent an email to the Gmail account asking to set up a phone call. It was with a different HR rep than I had met during the interview process, which helped my anxiety. I still practiced a lot changing my voice for the call. LMAO. This guy changed his voice for the call, so he was actually on the phone like, yeah, John is a great That's hilarious. In case I met her later on. But I don't think she was working there anymore. By the time I started, which was lucky, the phone call lasted about 5 minutes. A couple days later, I was signed the contract. I returned the cheap phone I bought, so my only expense was the SIM card and minutes. It cost me about $35 to land a six-figure salary at a job I really like. I just wanted to get this off my chest. I'm afraid to tell anyone in real life because they could get me fired. Thanks for reading. Bro, bro, I think that's genius. I'm sorry, bro. Scare money doesn't make any money, dude. Maybe that's not morally okay, but fuck it, bro. The fact that you went through the effort of doing all that and you were prepared for every outcome is like, bro, you don't think the business people at the top hasn't done shady shit to get to the top? Like, one of the comments is from Mini Fever 47 saying, that's a wild move, but hey, it worked for you. Just hope it doesn't come back to bite you later. People are saying karma might be able to get you, but I don't know, man. The fact that you got it this far, let's hope karma doesn't get you. I don't think it's that wild, man. Maybe this says what I am morally, but like, bro, you were in a tricky situation. You didn't have a third reference. You did what you had to do to get a high paying job. Like, that is by far the least bad one so far, in my opinion. All right, so that is all of the Reddit stories for this video. I made sure to put a focus on them being regret and confession based, and I make multiple videos every week, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.